order to capture the feeling of the time and place in the score, it was really about immersing the player in that, to make them feel like they're in that period. So we experimented with the idea of drawing influence from classical composers of the era. I specifically, though, listened for dramatic pieces of music. I decided to combine that with sort of a film soundtrack approach using traditional orchestra, really making it feel, that it belongs in the era and matches up to the gameplay well.
It was really interesting to see and listen to this blend that Frank, together with Joachim, are making for this project. Frank gives his own stamp on all of it. That's what makes it so interesting.
I would use certain instruments that were highlighted in just sparse areas. Once in a while you might hear a piano, once in a while you might hear a choir, and those feel more special when you don't hear them so often. Occasionally you'll hear a solo from a specific woodwind or a stringed instrument or even a brass instrument. So along the way of listening through the whole score, you'll hear each part of the orchestra have its own sort of moment. And that was something that was important to me in the instrumentation. Also within the battle themes in particular, I wanted that to always feel like there was intensity there, but it still gave you a break, here and there. The most challenging part of composing for the Great War, Western Front, really was about finding the right balance of how music is going to be featured in a game like this, where you're paying homage to history, but you're also putting choices in the player's hands. How do you make that something that connects? We hope the music drives players to feeling like they're really part of what's happening, and the music, I feel, accompanies that and complements that. The specific tones and emotions we're hoping to evoke are really based on the mode of play. It can apply to either faction you're playing as more of a emotional setting to what you're doing. Because it's an orchestral score, it gives us the ability to move those pieces that reflect what you might do as a commander in these historic battles. If you're in a strategic mode or battle preparation mode, you'll hear something more calm with a bit of mystery as to what might happen next depending on your choices. If you're in combat, the music will intensify with that for the duration that you're in battle. The theme that really encapsulates the score is really the main theme. It's one of the earliest compositions that I did for the game to sort of establish early the main melodies that are used, not just for the main theme, but throughout the entire score. It's something in composition that has meant something to me personally as I've come up, listening and being inspired by other composers. That was something I really wanted to reflect in this game. So putting together the orchestra, the main goal was to have a big sound. And in order to achieve that, we've got 100 musicians between the orchestra and choir. We have every section available of every sound: percussion, wind, strings, brass, choir, and all of the nuance that fills that out. Using a live orchestra definitely enhances a score, especially when you have that in mind when you're composing it. You're anticipating what the human element is when it's being performed live, the dynamics that are happening and how the orchestra is perceiving your piece and how they're performing it. That comes across in a way that is organic and feels that much more connected emotionally to what the score does for the game. To have a full and large sound gives you that really grandiose, over-the-top film soundtrack kind of vibe, and it feels larger than life.